What if I told you you can build $1 million business and do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? Well, that's exactly what we're doing. We're going behind the scenes to show you exactly how. Let's make sure we get Insta live real quick. There we go. I think we're in that. We live now. We're live. Happy Friday. This is episode 30. Today is February the 20th, 2026. And we're already on episode 30. Can you believe that? We're already on episode 30. That means you guys have been rocking with your boy, and I appreciate you tapping in. Episode 30. That means we've been extremely consistent, right? And you've been following along the journey as well. So listen, let me introduce myself really quick. Then we'll get into today's agenda. And so you too can build your $1 million playbook. I'm Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy. H-A-R-T, kind of like Kevin Hart. He's just way funnier. He has way more money than I have. But what he's not doing that I'm doing is I'm actually showing you, I'm giving you the playbook to show you exactly how you too can build your $1 million business. I'm doing it in public, right? I'm a real guy. There's no AI here. There's no script writing. I'm telling you exactly what it is. And I'm showing you the steps that I'm making each and every day. I'm taking you behind the scenes to basically show you how we're getting to $1 million here in 2026. So once again, thank you guys for tapping in. If it's your first time joining, thank you for coming. Listen, I do these every day, Monday through Friday at noon Central Standard Time. They're only 30-minute episodes. And what this means to you is we have 30 episodes. Today is going to be the 30th episode. And we just kicked this thing off on January the 11th. So we're moving very quickly. What that also means for you, there's 29 additional episodes that you may have missed out on. So what I encourage you to do is go to the QR code, scan that, or go to my link in the bio, go to my YouTube page. It's called Building. I created a playlist called Building $1 Million Business, right? And you can watch the other pre-recorded 29 episodes. Each one is only 30 minutes long. And I guarantee you, you're going to find tons of value in every single episode because that's what I'm about. I want to give you the tools. I want to give you the framework. I want to give you the playbook so you too can build your $1 million business, right? So we have two goals this year, two main goals, and I want to share those with you. One is the big thing is build $1 million engine, right? So we want to grow and create $1 million wealth system this year. The second goal is I want to build a 50,000 member ecosystem inside my newsletter. Why am I doing it? Well, we understand if you ever been on social media, algorithm changes, right? And as the algorithm changes, that means we have to adopt the way we approach our business and the way we connect with people. However, when you build your own framework, when you build your own ecosystem, no matter what happens to the algorithm, you too will still have your own built-in audience that is willing to rock with you, connect with you, and also buy from you. So that 50,000, that's for me. That's so I can keep giving you some dope insight, dope content that's going to help you move the needle in your professional life and or your particular business. So thank you guys for joining. More and more people are coming in. So I just want to pause really quick and say thank you. If we're going to be streaming today on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok, right? And I'm fairly new to TikTok, but TikTok has been showing me love. So thank you, family, for showing me love. Let's get into it. Listen, I say this before we get into the agenda. The comment box, the chat boxes are always open. So drop your first name. You know what? Shout out to your boy. Let me know your first name and what platform you're streaming from. It's going to help me out tremendously once we get to the ad spend part. Like we start investing dollars and cents on where we're going to get the biggest return on investment. You too are going to be interested in where should I invest my money? If I'm a solopreneur, if I'm a mid-level professional and I'm trying to create my side business or I'm trying to elevate my hustle, this is going to help us so much more because the more insight that I have, the more I'm able to pass on insight to you so we can actually build our $1 million framework together. Listen, I'm seeing more and more people coming in. So thank you, family, for joining. What are we talking about today? What is episode 30 about? What are we talking about today? Today is a recap, okay? But before we get into a recap, let me say this. 6 weeks in, it's not hype anymore. Like, this is not about hype. This is not about hype. Right now, we're about pattern recognition. We're not hoping that this works. We're watching it works. And that's something totally different, right? Because we've been extremely consistent every single day for the last 6 weeks. We've been posting, we've been engaging, we've been DMing, we've been doing exactly all the things that we need to do to build our $1 million framework. So today is about the recap of the week and the talk about the consistency to acceleration effect, right? How everything has been amplified. And I'm going to share with you some actual numbers that we've been that we've been growing so far within the 6 weeks. I see more and more people joining in. Our TikTok family's coming in. Hey, listen, on TikTok, if I only have so many followers on TikTok, so make sure you follow your boy. This is going to help me out so much more. It signals to the algorithm, and hey, this is guys worth following, right? And then the other thing too is if this is your first time or you're a returning viewer, make sure you invite other like-minded individuals like yourself who are interested in growing beyond the typical 9-to-5, looking to create a wealth system and a playbook for themselves. Make sure you encourage other people to join me as well. I do this Monday through Friday. They're only 30-minute segments, and we're on episode 30. So we're in that thing. Let's rock. Let's get into it. Remember really quick, first name, you drop your first name. I say hi to you. I see my chat boxes, so I say hi to you. Just let you know that I appreciate the love that you've been rocking with the boy. So let's talk about consistency and how it creates momentum physics, right? Remember, I give you all the inside scoop. I don't hold anything back. If you have questions, I'm an open playbook, so I'll tell you what it is. But I do have a preset agenda. I try to run through it as quick as possible, and hopefully I can leave some space at the end to do some Q&A. But let's talk about how consistency creates the momentum physics, right? Acceleration is not a decision, right? It's a side effect. What are we talking about, Patrick? Nobody sees the first days of your repetition, right? Nobody sees the first 30 days. But everybody notices once you get to day 45, because that's when things start to compound. So let me add this right here. The algorithm rewards consistency. So if you're a business owner, you're a content creator, whatever you happen to be, but you kind of live on social media, like that's been your world, like you're using it for a visibility standpoint or a branding standpoint, consistency is what's going to pay off for you if you want to move those needles, if you want to attract like-minded followers, if you want to get more engagement. This is where your consistency is going to come into place. So we're past day 45. The algorithm rewards consistency at this point. Trust begins to build through repetition, right? And I'm sure most of you guys know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I am going to share some information with you that's going to give you some more insight into how our numbers have been compounding so far. Revenue follows a predictable exposure, right? So we want to be consistent, we want to be predictable, and then our revenue starts to follow. Let me talk more about this. Systems only start working after we start doing our stress test, right? And this is everything that we've been doing up to this point, right? So let me frame it like this. Consistency feels slow until it feels unstoppable. This is what the compounding effect will do for you. Consistency in the beginning feels slow until you feel unstoppable. So let's recap the week. Let's talk about this. 4 main things I want to point out. One is going to be our newsletter growth, right? So if you're first time here, what are we growing? We're growing $1 million engine, right? We're going to get to $1 million here in 2026 and build an ecosystem of 50,000 subscribers. So if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, sign up for the newsletter, right? Do yourself a favor. Do me a favor, sign up for that. That's my ecosystem. I'm built to design to give you more insight and the tools so you can actually run the plays and do exactly what I'm doing as well. Okay. So sign up for the newsletter. You want to do that. But let's talk about the newsletter growth. That's been our platform. Newsletter growth so far has led to sponsorship confidence. What does that mean? Sponsors, they don't buy audience size. You don't have to have, thousands of people in your audience to get or attract sponsors. Right now, we've attracted over 15 sponsors. So if you've been rocking with your boy and you follow the newsletters, each and every episode, I've been spotlighting a different sponsor that wants to rock with us, that wants to be part of the ecosystem that we're building. What does that mean? These are people that see they see the consistency, they see the reliability, they see we're not going anywhere, and they're willing to put some money behind it as well as their brand to help support the growth of our particular newsletter. You too can do the same. We kicked this thing off January the 11th, right? Today is February the 20th. We're maybe 40 plus days into this, and we already got 15 sponsors. You too can have the same playbook, right? If you go to my QR code right underneath building the $1 million business you can watch on YouTube, the second part is the link where you can create your own newsletter. If you click on that, I save you some money on that thing, right? There's a percentage that you can save creating your own newsletter as well. So click on that, use that code, and I save you some money doing that. So the consistency is telling our sponsors that we show up. They understand that our brand is not going to disappear because we've been consistent. The other thing too is they understand we're building something stable, so they keep rocking with your boy. Let me pause really quick. I'm seeing more and more people coming in on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you, family. I appreciate the love. We're in episode 30 today. There's 29 additional episodes. go back to my YouTube page called Building a $1 Million Business. You can watch the previous 29 while they're still there. And I encourage you to do that ASAP, because as you know, if you've been on social media, not only do the algorithms change, but content changes, meaning they start making space from old content to create space for new content. So I can't guarantee it's going to be there over the next 30 days, but it's there today. So one was the newsletter growth. Let's talk about product scaling. Our product scaling has led to buyer familiarity. And if you're here, I'm going to give you some real dope insight, some real numbers and metrics that you can take from you that we've experienced already 40, 45 days into this thing. So stick with me, and that's going to come up in the next few minutes. People don't buy on first exposure, right? People do not buy on first exposure. So if you're a business owner, everyday hustler, and you're thinking, man, all I got to do is create a business and put myself out there and then people's going to buy. It takes consistency, because people want to know that, one, you're real, two, you really about that life, right? And three, your products and services not only interest them, but it's interested to other people as well, right? So when do they buy? After seeing you repeatedly, then after watching others engage with you and or your content. And then once they start trusting your consistency reduces buyer hesitation. And then you start seeing the sales come in. Who am I? You guys are out seeing more and more people joining. I'm Patrick Hart, Army veteran, spent 6 years in the military, former healthcare executive. I spent over 15 years in healthcare. I was an executive member of a technology company, and we sold that technology company at the end of 2018. In 2023, I became a full-time entrepreneur. On my journey, I wanted to lead with impact, right? It wasn't just about growth, but impact. And I was like, what's the best way I can impact the most amount of people? And something came up to me and said, you know what? Do it visibly. Do it visibly. So that's what I'm doing right now. Every single day, Monday through Friday, 30-minute segments, we go behind the scenes so I can show you exactly how you too can build your $1 million framework. So sign up for the newsletter if you haven't done that. So let's continue this on. Thank you, family. I see you coming in. So number 3 is going to be about partnerships. Partnerships actually lead to authority compounding. When you consistently feature others, like, listen, building your business shouldn't just be about you. You should think about, how can I incorporate other people so I can grow from their brand and they can go from my brand. That collaboration actually strengthens not only your offer, but your visibility, and it creates additional trust as well as credibility, right? So last week, we created the guest articles features page inside the newsletter. We already have two guest features already, and I got 2 more behind the scenes that I haven't dropped yet, right? But already, I'm going to give you some numbers on the insight that we've been getting from that. So when you consistently feature others, your platform becomes bigger than you. Credibility begins to stack. People see you as a connector, not just a creator, right? So you want to think about this as part of your $1 million framework and strategy. Number 4, let's talk about DMs really quick. DMs equal revenue predictability, right? And a lot of people are getting this wrong. We have to get good at doing the DMs if we're going to generate revenue. DM conversations, we want to do that daily, right? Because when you have conversations daily, that means you have daily opportunities to actually make sales for yourself. The other thing too, sales becomes a math problem, not the mood that you're in for the day of the week that you happen to wake up. Once you understand the math behind how do you track people, how do you convert people, where's your ad spend goes, now once you start investing money, you know exactly how much money I need to invest to get X amount of dollars or to get X amount of customers to come into your profile. I see more and more people coming. Thank you, Instagram family, YouTube family, LinkedIn family, as well as my TikTok family, and then my Facebook family. My Facebook family are always my silent viewers, meaning they view in silent, but I see the most amount of people coming back on Facebook and rewatching these over and over again. Let me give you some insight really quick on some of the numbers that we've been dropping. I'm getting ready to get to that topic. So here's a big teacher moment I want to share with you really quick. Consistency reduces volatility, right? Because we know volatility causes burnout. We're not trying to burn out building our $1 million business. Stability builds scale. We're building emotional durability as much as a business, right? So I'm thinking about emotionally, how can I handle the workload, the stress, everything that comes with building a $1 million framework and then doing it in public. All that comes into play, right? So I'm making sure emotionally I'm tapped in, and then I'm able to give you the energy that you need to help you grow your systems as well. So let's talk about the real numbers and analytics, because that's what you're here for. We've done some of the recap from what things we covered this week. Let's talk about the real numbers. Where are we at today? We kicked this thing off January the 11th. Today is February the 20th. So let me give you some of the insight into the analytics that my newsletter has been generating for me based off of the support that you've been helping out with. Okay. So first thing I'm gonna kick out with is a new number, a low number. We've had 167 unique visitors. You're like, wow, 167 unique visitors? Is that it? Yeah, we're still early on, but they're intentional. Let me give you some real numbers really quick. That's just unique visitors. Remember, already in the newsletter, we have over, right at 6,000, we have over 6,000 members across LinkedIn and the offline version. So together we have about 6,000, and we're trying to get to 50,000. So if you're just now joining, you're like, okay, where are you at now? We're at about 6,000. So we're doing pretty well considering we're only January the 11th. February the 20th of 2026, right? But we had 167 unique visitors, meaning they're different from what we already have, right? You know what this means? That our audience is very niche. And this is what we was going for. A lot of people, when you're trying to sell to everybody, right? You're trying to solve everybody's needs. But for me, I'm very focused. Our audience is mid-level professionals and or entrepreneurs looking to build a life for themselves, right? Or their family that they haven't built yet. So we're very specific. If that's you, thank you for rocking with your boy. Everything we do is designed to help you move a step further and closer to your goals here in 2026, right? So 167 unique visitors. Our audience is very niche. This is what it's telling us. Our traffic is extremely targeted, which this is what we want to get to, you want to get to in your business. And then here's the big number here that you're going to like this here. Our returning viewers. We got 1,410 returning viewers, and this is just in 4 weeks. Okay, so my viewers, my returning viewers are higher than my unique viewers. And the only thing that is, which is dope, that means our returning traffic, it equals trust signal. They're beginning to trust the newsletter more. They're beginning to trust the content more. They're beginning to trust the tools that we offer, the services, and the guest features. All of that is positive signals for our business. And we're only 40 days into this thing. So 1,410 returning viewers, 167 unique viewers, and we're very targeted. So we're hitting our target right on the head right now. Let's talk about bounce rate really quick. Right now, and I told you I'm going to be an open book. I'm going to share everything with you. If there's anything you want to know that I haven't shared, let me know. Slide into my DMs. I'll let you know. But I'm sharing everything with you, the whole framework, how much money I'm spending, the conversations that I'm having, the tools that I'm using, everything. And some of this we've already talked about. We're on episode 30. So go back and check out the other 29. Get yourself caught up, and you can see exactly where we are today. So let's talk about bounce rate really quick. Our bounce rate is 32.4%. Okay. And some of you is like, man, what does this mean? I'm not, bounce rate. Well, for us, it's a strong signal. Let me explain why. Because most sites, when people land on a landing page or a website, they lose half their visitors instantly, over half their visitors instantly. What we're doing is we're keeping 2/3 of our visitors. Listen, that's strong. That's something we celebrate. That is strong. This means that our message clarity is actually working. We're being clear. People are finding value ASAP the minute they hit the site. The other thing too is our expectation actually matters for their delivery, for what the outcomes they're trying to make. Here's another strong signal that we're getting. Again, 40 something days into this thing. This is going to blow your mind because it blew me away when I was looking at the numbers, right? The average session, the average time the people spend on the site right now, 5 minutes, 39 seconds. One person is spending over 5 minutes and 39 seconds. Remember, I had 1,410 return viewers, each averaging 5 minutes and 39 seconds on a page. You too can do the same thing. That's not scrolling, right? That's reading. People are consuming. That builds authority faster than clicks ever will. What are we doing? We're building $1 million playbook. We're doing it from scratch, ground up. You know what I'm saying? And we're getting these numbers already. That's dope, right? Thanks to you. So I appreciate the love. Let's talk about the page breakdown right now. And I'm talking very fast only because y'all know the boy likes to talk. I have tons of value that I provide each and every episode, and I try to pack as much in as possible, right? So I always have this agenda that I'm trying to flow through to give you as much value as possible so you too can incorporate this into your business, right? So let's talk about the page breakdown really quick. Right now, more people have been landing to the homepage, which is dope. We have 688 people visiting just the homepage. This is our top of the funnel. This is so important because when you're building your business, You want to have that traffic come in on the top of the funnel so it can funnel down into actually paying customers, right? So 688 visits, top of the funnel. What that tells us is social media is actually doing its job. People are clicking on the links, they're going to the homepage, they're exploring, wanting to find out more. Is leading to 5 minutes and 39 seconds on our website before they even click off. That's dope. All right, I see you, TikTok family. Thank you for the love. I appreciate you coming in. I see my Instagram family coming in here, LinkedIn, YouTube, as well as Facebook. I appreciate you guys. Listen, pause really quick. First time joining, thank you for coming. If you're a returning viewer, man, I always appreciate the love. Thank you for coming back. The other thing too, invite other like-minded individuals like yourself to join. I do these Monday through Friday every single day. They're only 30-minute segments at noon Central Standard Time. We're on episode 30. So go to my YouTube page. You can watch the other 29. They're free right now. There's a playlist called Building a $1 Million Business. Click on that and you can watch the other 29 as well. So let's go to our products page. So people are going to our products page as well. This is huge. We got 197 people have went to our products page already within the numbers that I share with you, right? This is huge. What this signals is we got high buyer curiosity, right? Almost 30% of our homepage visitors are exploring the offers that we have on the page. That's absolutely phenomenal. You know what this signals? Our positioning is actually working, right? So the positioning is working for the momentum that we're dropping. I just dropped on Monday. On Monday, I dropped a new toolkit. It's called the VP Resume plus LinkedIn Profile Optimizer. It's designed to help you get into those VP positions. I too used to be a VP of several different companies, including startup companies, including the technology company that we sold at the end of 2018. So when it comes to talking about how to get VP positions, you definitely want to listen to your boy because I've been there, done that, right? In fact, I made a lot of money selling a business in the process doing that. It's not a flex, it's just real life. That's what actually happened. So I included a sprint that I just dropped. It's $49. It's a $49 sprint. Dude, I just dropped it on Monday. That thing has been getting 43 visits already, right? Since I dropped it on Monday. Early traction matters more than volume to me, right? Because a new product adoption shows that the audience is actually aligned with the tools that we're creating, with the problems that we're solving. So these numbers are very positive so far. Here's the other thing too. I told you we just dropped the guest articles. We started that last Friday. Already we got 87 visitors that landed on the guest articles page. And this is what it's telling us. Partnership content isn't vanity. No, it's not. It's discovery expansion. So you want to have this to your playbook as you're building your $1 million playbook, your $1 million framework. How can I collaborate with other people? How can I spotlight what they do? Even if it's in the same vertical that you play in, it's about amplification, right? A lot of people, we get stuck thinking, oh, well, I'm competing with this person. Screw that. Not everybody is going to buy from the same person. Y'all can two same people, right? Two people that have similar products but look totally different is going to attract totally different buyers. Like the way that I speak with my tone, my cadence and everything, it may resonate with certain people, but other people it may not. So get out of your head thinking that, man, I don't want to spotlight somebody that's in the same space as me, or they may have similar products and services. Screw that. Nobody cares about that but you. Get out of your head. We're building $1 million business. So let me get clear about one thing really quick because I got 7 minutes. I don't want to make sure I have time. Traffic tells you where your attention is coming from, right? Which is important. We need that. But page depth, it tells you the intent. So now I can see where not only are people coming into my site, I can see where they're landing on the page, how long they're staying on the page, what they're actually exploring on the page. So this is where the analytics starts making sense for us. We can start digging more into this so we can actually provide better solutions, so we can continue to add more value, so we continue to contract where our greatest success is going to come from, right? So page depth tells us the intent. Time on the site tells us that people are trusting us. 5 minutes, 39 seconds on our site, the average person, man, come on, man. We winning the game right now. At least it feels like that. We don't want to celebrate too early. But listen, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you always want to take the time to celebrate the smallest of victories, right? Because we're doing enough work as itself. We beat ourselves up for everything that we do, the lack of family time, how much extra time we're spending on our business, how much money we're spending, all this stuff, we can beat ourselves up. So whenever you have something to celebrate, take the time, pause, celebrate so you can recharge and come back ready to get at it again, right? At this point, let me get clear. At this point, we're not guessing what's working. We're reading viewer behaviors. We're reading behaviors and we're using those signals to help us strengthen our business. Let's talk about investments really quick. I only got 5 minutes because this is important that I want to share with you. I'm not doing this by myself, meaning I am a solopreneur. I have some AI agents that I've been rocking with, that I've been building out myself, right? But I want to reinforce something right here. Strategic capital allocation. There's some things that I'm doing that's designed to help me reach my $1 million playbook or build this $1 million framework here in 2026. I want to share that with you, right? Listen, you don't invest when you're desperate. A lot of people want to invest money after their business is failing and they get desperate, so they want to throw money at something that's already broken. That's not when you invest. You invest when your signals tell you it's time to invest. And right now, our signals are everything is leading upwards. It's telling us it's time to invest. So here's the biggest investment I've already made so far in the first 40 days. I spent a substantial amount of money to get me an Instagram coach. You're like, well, Patrick, you're coaching us. What does that mean? I have a large following on Instagram. I have a large following on LinkedIn. I have a decent following on YouTube, right? But I want to amplify that because I realize if I can have multiple engines of visibility, I can create more DM conversations, which could actually lead to more opportunities for either collaborations or potential to earn money, right? So this is so important. So just recently, I invested into an Instagram coach. And you haven't seen any results yet, but I just did it this week. So hopefully we'll start seeing some growth there. And why did I do that? It wasn't for the content ideas. I can create content by myself. The reason I did that is for funnel optimization. I want more people at the top of the funnel that can trickle down so I can have more conversations. I did this for lead traffic. I want more leads where people I can have conversations with, where I can help turn their lives around as well, right? And then the other thing too is I was looking for content frameworks that actually drive engagement. Have you ever done that before? Like you've been on social media and you post and you post and post, and then your posts never go anywhere, and you're like, well, why hasn't it gone anywhere? Well, honestly, there's a framework that needs to be followed to include whether your header is, your talking points, even your visuals, to include captions. All of that matters when it comes to growth. So that's why I hired a growth coach for Instagram. And the goal is to have a greater return on investment for what I spent on a growth coach. And if you want to ask me, is like, well, Patrick, how much you spent on a coach? I spent over 10 grand on a growth coach. I'm telling you, I'm an open book. I tell you everything. I spent over 10 grand. So we want to take that, that $10,000 investment, and then we want to amplify that 100-fold. That $10,000 investment could turn into $500,000 just from a $10,000 investment. So you too, when you start thinking about your growth, you start thinking about coaches, connecting with coaches. Listen, get out of your head thinking you know everything, because you don't. If you knew everything, you wouldn't be here. If you knew everything, you wouldn't be following other people. You would just do your own thing, right? Get out of your freaking head. Sometimes you need a coach, right? It's not about ego. It's about growth. So find the person that's going to help you grow. Pay that person, because what they're doing is they're shortening the time for your particular growth so you can meet the demand and the needs that you're trying to fill quicker than if you would have did it by yourself. So you want to do that. So I got me an Instagram coach. The other thing too, I'm actually going to pay a professional for a landing page, like a professional landing page that's separate from my newsletter with high content that's actually designed to, and it's not for aesthetics, but it's designed to for conversion multiplication. I want to have another lane where I can convert people into the newsletter and into paying customers. Let me also add this. My 1,410 visitors, if it converts at 1%, just 1%, let me run through the numbers. If it converts at 1%, that's 14 buyers, right? Okay. If we optimize what we've been doing and the conversion increases to 3%, that same audience, now we get that 1,410 viewers. Now we can get 42 buyers at a 3% conversion rate, right? So math is truly about the numbers. Same traffic, triple revenue, because optimization beats expansion every single time. All right. Right now, and I'm about to wrap this thing up because I only got a few minutes. Right now, there's a gap that I have, right? I have 1,410 returning viewers, right? That's not going to get me $1 million. But here's what matters. Our trajectory is greater than our current volume. So all the signals are pointing to, hey, we're on the right path. We have the right message. We're attracting the right audience. We're very niche. That's going to grow and start to continue to compound. So I want to explain layering. This is what we've been doing. We've been layering. Week 1 was about the build. Week 3 was about optimizing. Week 6, which we're in now, we're analyzing. Once we get to week 8, now we can begin truly multiplying. You can see how this is a long-term game. This is not a short-term strategy. We're growing this thing like it's a marathon, not a sprint. Once we analyze plus prepare, now we're at that stage where we can begin substantial multiplication, all right? The math. 10,000 visitors a month at a 2% conversion. If we get 10,000 visitors a month at a 2%, only a 2% conversion, right? And with the average product sale of $150, that's $30,000 a month, $360,000 a year. Now you layer in your sponsorship revenue, your courses, your sprints. Now it becomes realistic, and you can see the math now. How do we hit $1 million here in 2026? Even though we're 50 days into the year, how many days it in? $1 million looks impossible until you start breaking down the math. All right. Listen, I think I'm going to be at time, so let me say this: consistency is built through transaction. Now transaction requires infrastructure, right? You can't scale chaos, so we're not trying to scale chaos. Automation protects your energy. Your team frees up your cognitive workload if you have a team. And then growth without delegation, it creates bottleneck. We're not trying to get into bottleneck. We're not trying to micromanage. We need to offload things that we're not good at or we don't have time at, so we can start amplifying our brand and our presence so we can get to that $1 million. I'm going to leave you with this because I'm already at time already. Listen, we didn't grow because we tried harder. That's not what this is about. It's not because we worked harder, we tried harder than anybody else. We grew because we showed up again and 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 again. We can, boy, we showing up. This is week 6, episode 30. Listen, I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy, that healthcare guy, also known as Patrick Hart. Follow me if you haven't. More importantly, sign up for the newsletter. We're growing that baby to 50,000. I need your support. And the other thing, invite like-minded individuals like yourself to join. Okay, we do these Monday through Friday, noon Central Standard Time, and go back and watch the other 29. Hey, folks, happy Friday. Be safe out there. I'll see you on Monday. Let's keep hustling. Let's get it.